Hey! Hello, guys. Welcome to the X-Men The Uncanny Evolution podcast. I'm your host, Zach Reiling, and today we're going to be breaking down X-Men 3, The Last Stand. What's considered the weakest movie out of the trilogy. In my opinion, I think it kind of settles up there, right about there with 1. But I definitely can understand why some people would think it's not exactly up to par with some of the other X-Men movies we've gotten. I mean, some of the newer ones were a little bit worse, but that's neither here nor there, I guess, but that's just my opinion, I suppose. But we've already broken down X-Men from 2000, X-Men 2 United from 2003, and now we will be getting into X-Men The Last Stand from 2006. This movie is PG-13. It's an hour and 44 minutes long. Let's go ahead and let's get into the cast list here. Right now we have Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Patrick Stewart as Professor X, Femke Janssen as Jean Grey, Elliot Page as Kitty Pryde, the third actor to be cast as Kitty Pryde, if you heard me mention that in the last podcast. Ian McCullen as Eric Lencher, aka Magneto, James Marsden, Cyclops, Halle Berry, Storm, Rebecca Romijn, Mystique, Anna Paquin, Rogue, Vinnie Jones, Juggernaut, Cameron Bright, Leech, Kelsey Grammer, Beast, Sean Ashmore, Iceman, Ben Foster, Warren Worthington, a.k.a. Angel, Lloyd Adams, Lizard Man, he sure was lizard-like too, Dana Ramirez, Blank, Eric Dane, Jamie Madrox. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name, but it says she played Cavanita Rayo, which was a little hard to pronounce as well, I suppose. Lance Gibson, Spike. Not the Spike from, well, he might be from X-Men Evolution. I guess we'll have to determine that throughout the podcast as we watch. Ken Lung, Quentin Quire, however you want to say that. Jimmy Starr, Blink. Bill Duke, Boulevard Trask. Oh, really? He was playing Boulevard Trask in this, huh? Interesting. Clayton Dean Watmore, Glub Herman, Brad Kelly, Prison Truck God. And that is it. So, with that being said, we are going to get ready and get going with the movie. We are watching this over on Disney Plus. As I've said before, I do have this on physical media, but as I've also previously said before, physical media is a dying breed that not everyone has, unfortunately. So, we are watching it on a platform that everyone has access to. Now, with that being said, we're going to start the movie from a countdown of 3, 2, 1. So, without further ado, guys, let's begin. 3, 2, 1. And we're off. We're waiting for it to load up. Still waiting for it to load. Come on. This is taking a little bit longer than when I watch it on my PlayStation app. Right now I'm watching it on a computer. Okay, almost there we go. We got the Fox logo, guys. Dun, 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 burr, burr, burr. Sorry, guys. I know I got some problems with me. I always love how these last 3 movies, it's always lingered on the X for the Fox logo. For the X-Men, of course. Boy, do I miss these old openings for Marvel. I know it's a little bit different from what we kind of get now with Marvel Studios as the logo. Back then it was just Marvel, and then we'd have the comics flip past. You know, it was really cool. You get little glimpses from what these movies actually come from, which are comic books. You know, something you have to go out into a store and buy. And now we're starting the movie out. We got Magneto and Patrick Xavier pulling up in what looks like the Rolls Royce of Rolls Royces. Looking dapper as always, from feet to head, as we see as they step out of the car. And look at this wonderful de-aging technology that we are seeing being used on both Sir Ian McCullen and Sir Patrick Stewart. I totally called him Patrick Xavier earlier. It's Professor Xavier, not Patrick. Patrick is the actor's real name. But right now, as we can see by the mailbox, it says Grey. They are going to be trying to get Jean Grey to join the School of the Gifted with them. Now, this is before Magneto has gone his separate ways from Professor X and started the Brotherhood of Evil in this. They ultimately were friends before they became enemies. And also, the timeline with this one doesn't match up as the same as we get with X-Men First Class. That's like they become friends and immediately within almost a year is what it seems like, or less than that, they become rivals after that. So timeline's a bit different, but that's going to be given whenever you try to do a reboot of a franchise and you go in your own direction with it. So, but right now they're talking to Jean's parents. They're trying to convince her that there's nothing wrong with their daughter and that they would be able to help them with whatever problems they do think she has at their school. I think this is another one of those instances where we talked about in X-Men 2 United, where sometimes Professor Xavier isn't always honest with the parents of these kids that he's taking. Sometimes he just tells them that it's a prep school and it's not an actual school for mutants where he can help them learn to use their abilities. I always did like this scene, though, between this younger actress who plays Jean Grey in it. I didn't get to name her off in the cast list, but she was in it. She does kind of look like the younger version of the actress who played Jean Grey in the newer X-Men movies. I'd have to look up the cast list for that right now. Not going to. Maybe I will later on in the podcast. And then we get our Stan Lee cameo as she shows to Professor X Magneto, or she tells him that they're not like oh no, my bad. My apologies. I'm getting that wrong. She is showing Professor X and Magneto her abilities when she says they're not like her, and she continues to lift almost everything up that's heavy in the neighborhood. And then that's when we get the Stan Lee cameo with his wife in the background too, Joan, while he's watering the grass. Now we're cutting to another flashback 10 years ago is what it says from this. Oh, wow, okay. And then we see a little boy with blonde curly hair, and he's in pain. He's picking at his back. You can't see what he's picking at his back for or what with. And then you see his dad walking up to the door and knocking on it. These are the Worthingtons, guys. Warren Worthington is the child we're looking at, and this is his father walking up. He right now is trying to, I'll give it away right now since this movie's been out for so long, he's trying to get rid of the wings off his back because he has angel wings as part of his mutation. And as the camera slowly pans, cuts, you see different angles of what he's been doing in the room, all the blood, the gauze covered in blood, the tools he was using to scrape away at his back and his wings, which I have to admit, that would be really freaking agonizing for a kid to go through. I've always thought that since I've seen this scene in the movie since day one. Now you see he's getting upset because he doesn't want his dad to know he's a mutant. He doesn't want his dad to think of him differently. It's a really sad scene when you really get down to it, and you really feel for the kid, and that the actor playing him, Kid Baby Angel, as we'll dub him right now, does a great job. And then that zoom in to his back, and then guess what, guys? We're getting back into the CGI openings. One more CGI opening for the thrill of it. I think this might actually be the last. No, is this the last CGI opening? Because we didn't get one in X-Men First Class after this, and we didn't get one in X-Men Origins. Well, I guess you could say that was CGI, but it was them depicting Wolverine's life throughout the years, which we'll get into when we review that movie as well. But yeah, no, this one is a little bit different as well. It's not just a bunch of DNA strands as we're seeing right now, leading into the X-Men title, but it looked like they also had scientists running experiments, doing blood droplets and all that kinds of stuff. And here we go back to how it ends with the iconic Cerebro X door logo. Now we're in the not too distant future, what looks to be a battlefield. For anyone that hasn't seen this, X-Men are actually in what's referred to as the Danger Room in the comics and in the animated series for X-Men and X-Men The Evolution. Now we're seeing Storm, Colossus, and we're seeing Rogue. I believe that's Rogue. If it's not, yep, that's Rogue Colossus is with. And I love how he can use his abilities to cover up other people with his metal too. You see the rock hit Logan in the face. He just kind of takes it like it ain't shit. He's like, what are you guys doing? No? Yeah? The whole world's gonna go to hell and you're just gonna sit there? Let's go. Fucking Wolverine, just the forever calm badass of the fucking group. And then we get Bobby, and then this is Kitty Pryde. For anyone that has heard me, Kitty Pryde has been cast 3 times now. This is the 3rd actress to play her when she was still an actress at the time. And now she transitioned. She wanted to be a dude now. I don't really follow her that much after that. You guys can currently see her in the Umbrella Academy or him, whatever you guys fucking prefer. Either or, don't bother me. But now we're seeing Storm and Wolverine have a conversation of what are you really teaching them pretty much anyways. And at the end of the day, Wolverine is just here as a substitute teacher, as we'll come to find out as the movie continues to play. And Logan just kind of wants to get this part done and over with. And this is where we see the classic comic book fastball special. I don't think that's what they call it in this. But yeah, how's your throwing arm? Logan, we work as a team. Yeah, good luck that. Throw me now. damn it, Logan, don't do this! And fucking Wolverine gets tossed into the fastball special, and then see what lands? It's the giant fucking Sentinel head. Look at that. Now, it's not colored the same way it is in the comics or the animated series, but it's still cool that we got to see this Sentinel head. And if we're being honest, it's more comic accurate just seeing the freaking head than it was seeing all the Sentinels combined in X-Men Days of Future Past, and both the past and the future that we got to see. So I don't know why they had to change it and modernize it. I thought it looked shitty either way, regardless whether they did the 60s versions or the futures. But now the Danger Room session's over. What the hell was that? Danger Room session. You know what I mean. Oh, lighten up, Storm. Look, you just can't change the rules whenever you feel like it. I'm trying to teach him something. I taught him something. I was, the best defense is a good offense. There's something along the lines of that. The captions are moving too fast for me to keep up with them. But, yeah, this is basically Storm trying to teach the X-Men about teamwork and how they need to work together if they want to be able to win all their future battles to come. And Wolverine is just basically being the Juggernaut. Juggernaut. We'll see him later, too. But of the group, where he just basically does everything on his own. And now we're seeing Cyclops. Sorry, guys, kind of getting into this a little late. But, yeah, we're seeing Cyclops basically not being able to keep it together after Jean Grey died in the last movie. Wolverine's been able to keep it together more than he has, and he's just struggling. I think anyone that loses the love of their life would struggle with living as well. That's something that probably can't even be fathomed. If I lost my fiance, I would probably not know what to do with my life moving forward. I would probably just be at a standstill. And we see Bobby and Rogue are still together. Logan giving Cyclops shit for not being at class, and he had to sub for him. No, he didn't. The professor did. I was just passing through. So pass through, Logan. Hey, look. And this is where Logan's trying to basically console Cyclops. I know how you feel. Don't. When Jean died, I said don't. Maybe it's time for us to move on. I love this line. What are you going to say? Oh, yeah, not everybody heals as fast as you, Logan. It's a great line to juxtapose to how Cyclops is feeling in the moment of that scene. And I think that's good writing. This is a completely new writer for this movie too, guys, just so you know. It's a different director and a different writer from X-Men and X-Men 2. Bryan Singer departed ways after X-Men 2 so he could direct X-Men, sorry guys, so he could direct Superman Returns starring Brandon Routh at the time. And now we're introduced to Kelsey Grammer and Beast. I always really loved Kelsey Grammer's version of Beast in this. We've seen him, I think, one other time as Beast. Two other times now as Beast. Once when he makes his return in Days of Future Past, and then a second when he cameos in the Marvels, which I never saw the Marvels. I just saw the little end credit scene that he was in. But as we can see, Beast isn't a part of the X-Men at the moment. He was previously in this. We'll find out that later. Right now, he's Senator Hank McCoy, I believe that's what his position is. And he's meeting with a bunch of other congressmen, political suits. And they're basically letting him know that they got Mystique captured and they're trying to interrogate her. And then it cuts away to the interrogation. We got Rebecca Romijn back reprising the role of Mystique, always looking glorious in the makeup. I really wish we could have gotten someone a little bit closer to her likeness to play Mystique in X-Men First Class and the other ones going forward. Jennifer Lawrence is fine in the role, but she does not hold a candle to Rebecca Romijn, that is for sure. Not just looks-wise, but acting capabilities as well. I love how she transforms into Magneto to fuck with the guy. Where's Magneto? He's right in here with us. You don't want to play games with me? He transforms into the guy interrogating her. She's really just not, enthused with who she's talking to. She just doesn't take him serious, and that's apparent in how she treats him. Headbutts the motherfucker. Throws the chair at the other dude. She does not feel endangered at all while she is here. She feels like she's in control, but not the other way around. Which is a problem with the humans, and that's why they have a problem with fucking some mutants like her and Magneto. So, but they can't go about the whole problem like that with all of them, as we all know. So we're cutting back to Beast talking to, I believe this is either the president he's talking to now. It's a different actor playing the president. And they're basically trying to discuss what to do with Mystique and then their secret project they have of coming up for a cure for mutants and the boy responsible for them, as we see now. Jimmy, a.k.a. Leech. which I told you guys who he was when I went over the cast list in the beginning. We believe it is valuable. We believe it is, of course. You know, humans believe it is. You realize the level of impact this will have in the mutant community? Yes, I do. That's previously why we needed some of your diplomacy on the situation. Sorry, guys, having a hard time speaking when I'm trying to talk this fast over the subtitles. And now we're back at the X Mansion, and we are seeing Professor X's wheels. Remember that joke from X1, guys? He is currently teaching a class right now. Don't have the audio on, so I can't tell you what he's teaching at the moment. Something to do with mutants, though, and history, I would suppose. Look at this freaking mutant power. Wouldn't it be something if you guys could just use your hand to write? Like, literally just wave it and not have to, like, you know, move your fingers. You just need to do a motion so you can write. That'd be fucking helpful. Be helpful while I'm doing these fucking shows for you guys. That way I can write down quotes faster. But, yeah, I like that they tried making Kitty Pryde a more prominent character in this. Hey, it's the glasses guy's back. The TV guy with the blinking powers. We caught him in X2, didn't we? The Macaulay Culkin looking kid back then, but he's looking a little different now. Now, this scene comes to play near the end of this movie, where he's talking about this guy that's brain dead in this hospital, but they might be transplanting some new brain in him later to help give life to the body still, because the body's alive, but the brain is dead, is basically how they explain it in the movie. And now Professor X feels a disturbance in the Force, for any Star Wars fans out there. Yeah, it's basically Storm kind of upset right now. So, we'll continue this tomorrow. Kitty Pryde already kind of starting to look like a dude in that one shot where she's leaning back. Does Storm not notice sometimes when she's going, like, crazy with her abilities like that? When it was a nice sunny day and then all of a sudden it's, stormy out! You never know, right, guys? Here we go. The sun's coming back. The sun's coming back. Oh. Hey, look, someone's making paper airplanes fly. And that's a little on the nose for an ability, don't you guys think? Oh, yeah, so right now Professor X and Storm are walking through the school, basically discussing, Storm, I thought that you... In fact, I thought that perhaps you might take my place someday. Okay, so they're basically just discussing the future of the school at this point. How she kind of wants her to take... He wants her to take over. He was going to give it to Scott, but Scott just changed since Dean's death. He took it so hard. But you of all people know how fast the weather can change. Yeah, this proves the point, though, like, going home, like, James Marsden's Cyclops got shafted really hard in these movies. Now we got Beast at the X Mansion again. Aurora, Charles. He always speaks with such, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess, not prominence, but, not wealth. Fuck, what word am I looking for? He always speaks with, like, he's like, has just such royalty, I guess, to him in terms of the way he treats everyone. Not royalty, high etiquette, there we go. He always responds with such high etiquette. I think that's why everyone likes Kelsey Grammer's Beast, because it's more like the Beast from the comics. You know, he's politely spoken, he's intelligent. He really tries to do that because he knows how his appearance makes him look. So... But he's here right now to let them know about the cure that's being developed for mutants, and how far they are along with it at the moment. They're calling it a cure. Now they're all like perplexed. Well, that's ridiculous. You can't cure being a mutant. Well, scientifically you can. How can anybody in their right mind, Storm? They're announcing it now. They always use Professor X's abilities in this as, I can hear what people are about to do from far away. If he could really sense that far away, why does he need fucking Cerebro then? Can anyone answer that for me? But that part I don't get. But I stand here today, and this site, once the world's most famous prison... Oh yeah, Rikers. That's funny. They used Rikers Island for the fucking famous prison. I don't know if they ever specifically say when they, other than when they talk about Rikers Island, the prison, if this takes place in New Jersey. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Now Rogue sees the cure. She's kind of curious because that, like I've previously said before, Rogue's the type of character because of her mutant gene. She can't touch anyone. No one can touch her without them being hurt. So yeah, and then Beast is basically trying to console Storm about the cure that was just announced, making a joke about how he leaves fur on the either the couch or the carpet, whichever it was. He just called me boy. I'd be a little upset if Beast called Wolverine boy if I was Wolverine, considering Wolverine's older than Beast. I've been fighting for human rights since before you were born, boy. No, actually, Wolverine was alive a lot longer than you were born fighting for mutant rights. Unless you were born before the fucking Civil War, I don't think you fucking got that covered. And then Storm was just basically telling Rogue there's nothing wrong with her, she doesn't need the cure. And then we got this guy looking like a praying mantis. I know that might sound a little harsh, but he does. Sorry guys if you hear any other background noise, it's a radio I have with me. But yeah, then look at this guy's power. I'm sure half of fucking America would want this, just shrinking down so you're not so fucking fat anymore. Who has the mutant power? Who at least thought to put this in the movie? Let me know if this is something in the comics, if this is a character from the comics. If you can just like choose what type of weight size you want, that'd be fucking terrific. Does that come with abs? Please let me know. Ignoring the signs all around you. Yeah, now we got... And for anyone wondering, this is basically a meeting between mutants discussing what they should do with the cure that was just announced and all the regular humans. And Magneto was there with Pyro. Yeah, and Pyro is with Magneto because he left with him at the end of X-Men 2. Or at least when you get near the end of it, when Magneto and Mystique leave after they chain up Stryker to the brick wall that he's attached to in that. Or that they attach him to it. Then you got all the these gothic-looking mutants. I wonder why they chose to make them all look like fucking... they were all goths and emo motherfuckers and shit like that. And then we got the spiky guy. Let me see it. I'm pretty sure I still got the cast and stuff for this so I can show you. And then Pyro got an upgrade with his little equipment on his wrist, and they gave him a hair dye, so he's got blonde hair now like he does in the... No, I think in the comics and animated shows, Pyro has red hair. So I don't know why they went with blonde. I love that little line here where she asks him if he's ever been pretty much touched by a needle, like the cure. And then he assures her that no needle will ever touch his arm again as he shows her his number from when he was in the concentration camp you see in the beginning of X-Men 1. But, yeah, no, the guy with the porcupine face, it's totally not Spike. That's a different character we'll see later on in the movie. He is a famous actor and martial artist from China. You can see him in tons of Jackie Chan movies, American-based martial arts movies. He's a lot older now, but he was a pretty prominent actor back in the 90s and 2000s. I don't really see him too much now because he's a little bit older. This scene makes me laugh every time we get to it. Mystique pretending to be different people in this prison truck so she can try and get loose. Oh, Mr. President, shut up. This guard makes me laugh. Such a fucking asshole, but it's funny. Please, let me go, please, little girl. Keep it up. I'll spray you in the face, bitch. When he says that, I wasn't expecting him to talk to a little girl like that when I originally saw this movie back in the day when it came out. It still fucking makes me laugh and just give this like funny ass fucking look to the TV when I'm watching it. Yeah, Rebecca Romaine. Back, baby. But okay, yeah, so going back to the actor I was previously talking about. Ken Leung is his name. You guys gotta look out for him in some of his previous movies he's done before. Terrific actor, terrific action star as well. So, and then Elliot Page is who plays Kitty Pryde in this, the transitioning actor. So, but now we're back to Rikers Island with Beast being met by one of the head scientist employees there. and she's going to take him to meet the boy, aka Leech, who is responsible for his DNA being used to make the cure. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. I always think it's funny how scientists always have these really white out rooms, and then they give it to a kid. Like, wouldn't that be a lot dirtier if that was a kid's room? Not in terms of like just toys and stuff like that being lying about, but just just dirt. But I suppose it wouldn't be if it's a scientific clean room, right? I always thought this part was cool. He kind of shows him his ability and what he's able to do, and the boy kind of knows that it's a little jarring for some, so he apologizes for it, which shows you the level of intelligence that this character has as well. So, I think I've seen the actress playing the scientist in the room with them before. I can't remember what else I've seen her in though. But you could tell Beast got shook from that. He tells him that's an amazing gift he has, but it also really threw him off to see his hand turn into a regular human hand again. So, because part of Beast's mutation isn't just his look. Beast is super fucking strong because he has like the strength of a fucking gorilla, I assume. It's been a while since I've looked up his like abilities and their like strength levels on them, but I'm pretty sure his mutant gene also enhances his intelligence as well. Like he was already pretty smart before, but I'm pretty sure it enhances that as well. So agility, strength, all that is enhanced. Like sorry guys, I keep yawning. Anything that you guys can hear a human do physically or what a human is capable of, I think is just enhanced to the 10th degree given his abilities. And now we're back with Cyclops, back to Alkali Lake where Jean died. And he pretty much is grief-stricken, and he's angry now at this point. And he's just hearing Jean in his head. Just going, Scott, Scott, Scott. And he's getting like images of her in his head. And I imagine she's doing that as the Phoenix to him. Now, why they had to write it this way for Jean to come back as the Phoenix, to have Scott come back here to have her reappear, and then to have her kill him was just beyond me. I don't know why it was important for them to kill Scott in this. Like I said, Cyclops in these movies just keeps getting the fucking shafts up the ass every fucking movie as it goes along. I think the only time that they tried making him a real character was in Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, and even then, Dark Phoenix, he kind of gets sidelined for Jean Grey again. But if anyone else likes James Marsden as Cyclops, let me know down below in the comments. I always thought he was really cool as the character. Still continue to 3 movies in now. There's a blinding light. Who is it? Jean? Jean? Wouldn't you question how she would still be alive? You watched her drown and now she's just there. Anyone else notice that Jean's hair is like a lot more of like an auburn red in this than it previously was before in the other movies? At least to me it looks a little bit like darker. And the length of it, I'm surprised they went with, considering the last time we saw her how short it was. I didn't bring this up in the last video though, but I think the reason Jean Grey's hair was so short in X-Men X2 United was because the other movie that Femke Janssen was filming around that time might have been not The Italian Job. It was a movie she was doing with Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson at the time. It was a spy movie. If anyone can think of what the name of that movie is, leave it down in the comments down below. And now Jean's showing off her new powers with Scott, that she can control his abilities with her new powers. Always cool. And we got a little like scene of this in X-Men 97 that played out, but it was actually Jean, not the Phoenix. Now Scott can look at her with his own eyes, and she can look at his eyes. Now they're kissing. Now this part always made me feel weird. I was like, oh, what's happening to her face? This is weird. I don't get why they did this effect with her. Like, Phoenix never, in the comics or animated shows, had anything like this happen whenever she was with someone or used her abilities. And you can obviously see Professor X was, sensed it. Now he's going to send Wolverine and Storm out after him. Look at him go in the X-Jet, the Blackbird. Yeah, so now we're back at Alkali Lake with Storm and Wolverine as they're going to investigate what Professor X had previously sensed with Jean killing Scott. Uh, Now, it's never explained why the gravity is weird in this area, why everything is floating. There's actually quite a few plot holes in this movie, if we're being honest. If I'm gonna give you guys a real breakdown of this one, I can't just sit here and talk about it like I like the whole movie. There are tons of plot holes throughout this movie, which is one reason why this movie gets the shaft end of the stick out of the original trilogy. Most people don't really care for this one. I can't blame them. It's not explained why the objects are floating in the air. Like I said, why gravity is the way it is. It's not explained why there's so much fucking fog in the area. And then it's never explained how Jean Grey kills fucking Cyclops in this. You just see his glasses floating in the air, and that's it. I do think it's pretty cool that we get to see Storm in this suit, this new suit it looks like. It doesn't have a cape attached to it or anything like that. And then, if you guys notice, Wolverine's jacket in this is different from the jacket in the first X-Men movie. I don't believe we actually ever see him in this leather jacket in X2. Oh no, I think we do for a brief second. No, in the beginning, yeah, it's in the beginning of the movie when he was walking through Alkali Lake and when he first gets back to the X-Mansion. But I think that's a different jacket than this one is too. I think they're all different jackets, and if it's the X2 is the same jacket as X1, I'll be surprised. But like I said, that jacket previously went up for auction at a auction shop recently. And Wolverine finds Cyclops' sunglasses, and then they find Jean. Jean? Struck like a motherfucker. I'd be too, if the person you thought you knew was dead that you loved is alive now. That would be a little confusing. The only explanation of Jean's wrapped her in a cocoon of telekinetic energy. Is she gonna be okay? Jean Grey is the only Class 5 mutant I've ever encountered. Her potential practicality is mirrored. Her mutation is seated. Oh, yeah, no, so now we're at the point where Professor X is trying to see what's going on with Jean. He's explaining to Wolverine what's going on in her head, and then he eventually explains to him about the Phoenix. What? The conscious Jean, whose powers were always in her control, were the dormant side, and her personality that in ours. Law. I can't talk. Sorry, guys. But so as you guys can tell, they did their own origin with the Phoenix in this. For some reason, it's always been a part of Jean. It's always been her like hidden. Not hidden mutation, but it's always been her real mutation, and Professor X has basically suppressed it because of how powerful it is. Don't know why they chose to go this route story-wise. Makes no fucking sense character-wise either. But you can tell they tried making hints of it ever since the ending of X-Men 1. They made that little plant. But this was also back before they really made comic book movies as comic book movies. So I can't really give you too much grief and gripe about that. Yeah, I love how Wolverine gives fucking Professor X shit over this. No, Professor, I had no idea. You were like, I had a terrible choice to make. I chose the lesser of two evils. Well, it sounds to me like Jean had no choice at all. I don't have to explain myself. Spoken like a true arrogant asshole, at least of all to you. Like, what the fuck makes you so much better than Wolverine? Like, because of you basically created a fucking time bomb where Jean starts killing multiple people in this movie. Go fuck yourself, Professor X. I swear, as much as Sir Patrick Stewart was a great casting as Professor X, I totally feel like Professor X was the probably shittiest character throughout the entire X-Men trilogy. You guys can fucking argue with me that in the comments if you want, down below. Go ahead. But in my opinion, he was much better as Professor X in X-Men Days of Future Past, and why am I blinking on the actor's name? James McAvoy. He was a much better fucking Professor X than I think Sir Patrick Stewart was in all three of his fucking trilogy movies. It's just ridiculous how much of a prick they made him be. Because in the comics and in the animated shows, Professor X is pretty much the nicest, most beloved character in the X-Men franchise. He can do some dickish shit here and there, but that's not like truly up to him. Now we're meeting back with the Worthingtons, Warren and his dad, and it looks like he's about to get the cure at this point in time. And yep, there's the cure. The scientists that helped make the cure. Oh, look at that. We get to see part of his angel wings. Wait till they fucking actually open up and you guys get to see him. Like, the angel stuff in this, like, visually is really fucking cool. And I like the actor that got to play him. I think the actor is really good and underrated as well. You guys can see him play in the guy with piercings in the Punisher before this, who gets him all ripped out. He's looking pretty apprehensive as he's getting strapped to the table and he's watching the gun get put together. Yeah, no, I'd get pretty apprehensive about that. I get apprehensive from normal shots. And you're going to tell me you're going to fucking shoot me with something with a needle attached to it? That seems scary. And, yep. You can see the fucking anxiety just building up in him more and more. And then he starts to shake. Wait, I can't do this. Warren, calm down. No, I can't do this. Yes, you can. Okay, just give me a minute. Just relax, son. Take it easy. No, I can't do this. Calm down. I promise you, it'll be fine, Dad. No! Yeah, so it looks like the only thing that was originally holding him down was the two guys. I originally... No, because they did show him get strapped in by his wrist, so... But what do you guys think of his fucking wings opening up? They're just fucking gorgeous looking. I love that, the music that goes along with it as well. The music... I can't argue with the music in this movie. It is really fucking good in the movie. All the music in all the X-Men movies have been really good. So that's one thing I can't make a complaint about. And then we get to see him fly for the first time. I'm sure it's not his first time flying, but for the audience, it's our first time seeing him fly. So, they tried making Angel a character in X-Men Apocalypse. I don't remember seeing him in Dark Phoenix after that. But he wasn't really a memorable character in that either. He was still Warren Worthington in Apocalypse, but they turned him into this, like, cage-fighting bad guy, and I just didn't care for it. Alright guys, so now we're back to the prison brigade transportation, and Magneto found him. Oh shit, yeah, no, Magneto just crushes one car in the front. Now, yep, he crushes the second one. Now it's left to the truck, and just flings the other two off like fucking they're flies on a fucking fly trap. That was a crappy analogy. He flings them like they ain't shit. How's that, guys? Yep, whoever's in that fucking semi is dead. And now Mystique's about to get her fucking revenge on the guard that was trolling her, even though she was trolling him too. With the feet. She loves killing people with her feet. You guys ever notice that? They made Mystique a feet person in these movies. That's for damn sure. Now we're back to Magneto. He's about to open up the back of the truck. He's got Pyro and his other three gothic goons with him. About time. I've been busy. Yeah, of course you have. Trying to build up an army. The source of the cure, a child at Worthington Labs. Without him, they have nothing. Magneto didn't know that now, did he? Read off the guest list. I like this. Now they're about to get even more help. Just like the baddest of the bad fucking mutants in this little truck. Helpful. Now, I forget who this guy is, but yeah, he's basically just a guy who has his mutant ability to clone himself at tons of times. Welcome to the Brotherhood. They say in the movie that he got caught for robbing like fucking 5 different banks at the same time or something along the lines of that. Or 10. Now you get to meet the Juggernaut, bitch! Played by Vinny Jones. Fucking Vinny Jones is the Juggernaut. It's fucking glorious in this movie, though. He's hilarious. He's intimidating, badass. Doesn't look like the original Juggernaut, like the comics, but they gave a good spin on it. I'll give him that. I know a lot of people don't like Juggernaut in this, but I think he works for what they were going for. I get the security guard. He's about to shoot one off, and he gets Mystique instead. I thought those were plastic guns. How did he take something that was plastic from him? Unless the tips were metal in the syringe shots, as I guess you could call them. So part of her mutant gene made her hair red. I forgot about that. But yeah, this is Rebecca Romaine. This is what she actually looks like. Fucking gorgeous. I can't fucking deny that. Sorry, honey, if you ever listen to this. Eric. She doesn't have that stupid fucking little echo that gave her voice when she had her mutant powers as Mystique. Now she's just back to being Raven. Ravencroft. I think that's how what her name is in these. Because I'm pretty sure in the cast list it's just gonna say Mystique. Yeah, it just says Mystique in the cast list for her. Alright, but yep, now we're back with Beast, and he's talking about the cure again to the president, and how the convoy holding Mystique and the other mutants was attacked. How have you begun to think what a slippery slope you're on? I have. I like how Beast in this movie is just kind of constantly giving the president fucking shit. Like, he's not afraid to talk to him as if he's known him for a while, which maybe he has, because there's probably a fuck ton of off-screen stuff that they're not telling us with Beast between when he was originally part of the X-Men and when he left to become a politician. I don't know if Beast was ever a politician in the comic books. Yeah, I know he's always been a scientist with the X-Men, but I don't ever remember him being any type of senator or any type of diplomat for mutants and humans. To me, that was always Charles in the comics. Oh, now Jean's up. She is up. Now, did she make that thing float off her head, or was it just something that happens whenever you wake up? Whatever that headpiece is, that mind scanner. Back where we first met, only I was in your place. You were in mine. You okay? You could tell they definitely told Femke Janssen to play Jean Grey differently as the Phoenix than as normal Jean. As the Phoenix, she's more seductive with Wolverine. She's also more like childlike when she's around Magneto, I've noticed, and Professor X. Oh, you're making me blush. Yeah, the flirtatiousness that she has towards Wolverine in this is just so, like, times 10 compared to what it was between them and X2 and X-Men. Which you could say was like minuscule in X-Men. But they definitely had a lot of flirtatious scenes in X2, which I pointed out in my past video as well. Yep, now they're getting it. Getting it. Now, I wonder if Wolverine didn't have his healing ability, if she would have killed him the same way that she killed Scott. Man, they're getting at it like beasts. Get it, guys? Beasts. Oh, that looked like it hurt. How did she do that to Wolverine's arm? It definitely looked like she went deeper than skin. That's for sure. I swear to God, it's like Bryan Singer was telling him, not Bryan Singer, whoever the director of this was telling him, just get close enough to fucking, and then we're gonna stop. Like, to the point where Jean, like, telepathically just removes his belt. Or uses telekinesis to remove his belt. I don't know why I always get telepathy and telekinesis mixed up whenever I go to sing for some reason. Hasn't happened in a while, but yeah, there you go. Now, Wolverine's trying to ask her what happened to Scott. And she's basically telling him the professor was originally in her head. Now he's in his. Now the professor's in Wolverine's head. Where's Scott? Jean? Where am I? Oh, you're in the mansion. Now, I will say, this bit of direction that they gave Jean Grey in this scene doesn't really make too much sense with the rest of the way this scene is played out. And Wolverine's just got Scott's Cyclops. Wolverine has just got Scott's sunglasses in the back of his pocket. Surprised those didn't get fucked up while he was almost about to get fucked by Jean. Creaking. Yeah, there was some definite creaking going on, that's for sure. Oh, there goes glasses. Turned into pieces. And now she's about to just lose it. Jean, stay with me. Talk to me. Jean, look at me. Look at me. No. Focus. Focus, Jean. Kill me. What? Yeah, I'd be a little confused too if someone was just like upset and said kill me as you were trying to help him. Yes, I think this was before like the Phoenix fully like not fully took over, but this is when the Phoenix was trying to take over her body. At least their version of it. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. Oh, that looks like it hurt. Definitely put a dent in the wall. Did you put a dent in the wall with your back and your foot? Jesus. There goes the doors. And there goes the... Oh, what am I saying? There goes the... Oh, well, we're back with Magneto, guys. Magneto and Pyro. And they're at their little hideout. It's never really specifically stated where this hideout is. Oh, we got Juggernaut with him, too. Looks like a bunch of crumpled metal, though, as where the walls are. Like Magneto made his own wall art with metal. And it's all layered on top of each other. It's massive. It's a mutant. Yeah, you're talking about Jean Grey, aren't you? She was talking about the biggest dick in the world, wasn't she? Oh, and yep, nope. Magneto knows who it is when he says, where is she? Yeah, he fucking knew right away. Like, you could slowly see the fucking gears in his head start to turn. Storm finds Wolverine. What have you done? Why are you blaming Wolverine? See, Professor X has been a dick in this movie the whole fucking time. Like, you can't blame Wolverine for trying to let Jean be Jean when you were caging the beast the whole time. It's a good line Wolverine says to him earlier. If you cage the beast, sometimes the animal gets enraged and wants out. It's something along the lines of that. But Professor X totally has it coming when fucking Jean kills him in this movie. And I feel like they were trying to... Maybe that's what they were trying to set up with him being a dick the entire fucking trilogy, was when he dies in this one. But, alright, so we're back to Jean Grey's old neighborhood where Professor X found her as a kid with Magneto. And look who's there. Magneto! Same as Professor, visiting an old friend. Yep. Nor do I. So shall we go inside? This part makes me laugh how fucking Magneto has his fucking guys just basically as guards in front of the house. Oh, sorry, yawning. How he basically has his guys in front of the house. Juggernaut, Pyro, and I believe Pyro's there. And then you have the lightning lady who can run super fast, one of the goth people. Let me see. Does she have a name in the cast listing? Sorry guys. It says they have her listed under the name Betsy Braddock in this. No, Jubilee wasn't in this. And if she was, then it was just a little cameo. Sorry, I'm going through the cast list on that. Alright, yeah, so we're in Jean's house, and she's just kind of making the whole house go nuts with her powers, turning stuff off and on, stuff's floating, hitting the ground, moving, shaking. And you got Magneto and Professor X in there to talk to her. I have no home. Yes, you have a home and a family. No, he thinks your power is too great for you to control. Eric? See, at least Magneto's being honest with her about why he's there. As to where the professor's just being a lying dick about it. Help me, what's wrong with me? Absolutely nothing. Eric, stop! No, Charles, not this time. You've always held her back. For her own good, Jean. Yeah, you're about to die, Professor X, because you keep being a fucking gigantic, colossal liar. You're being a colossus. You're being a colossal dick. A colossus, colossal dick. A giant metal throbbing cock. That's what you're being. Look at me. No. Get out of my head. Perhaps you should listen to her, Charles. You must trust me. You're a danger to everyone and yourself, but I can help you. I think you want to give her the cure. Look what happened to Scott. You killed the man you loved because you could not control your power. No, stop it. Such a good scene. I actually really like the dialogue in that scene. That is such good dialogue. The acting is really well written. I'll give fucking Sir Patrick Stewart that too. That scene was really well done. Fucking Juggernaut just fucking hits Wolverine in the legs. I'm surprised you didn't see Wolverine's legs like fucking snap forward. If you guys know what I mean by that. And then Storm being a fucking boss with her abilities. Storm could easily take out all these motherfuckers if she wanted to. Let's be honest. The only one I don't think she could stop is probably Juggernaut. Maybe this Juggernaut, though, because he's different from the one in the comics. Then you just have Wolverine getting tossed around like a rag doll by Juggernaut. Fucking, that kick he gives him didn't look like it could do that much damage. I don't know how it sent him flying. But hey, it's the Juggernaut, right? And you got Jean making shit go crazy in the room that she's in. Ooh, look at them go. Water on the ceiling from the sink. That's pretty fucking crazy. I think Magneto's just holding himself in place with his powers, which is why he's not moving. And this is when fucking Jean starts to disintegrate fucking Professor X. And we get this really cool slow-mo scene where she, like, lifts him out of his chair. Well, it's not, that part's not slow-mo, I don't think. It's at a certain point near the end, but right before she kills him, I get slow-mo. But this fight is really fucking cool with Wolverine and Juggernaut and Storm and Betsy. Yeah, now we're getting fucking Professor X lifted out of his chair. It's been forever since he stood this tall, huh, guys? So I don't know why Magneto would be such like a dick in this situation, trying to get her to go with him. But then he's also worried about Professor X dying. That doesn't make any sense the way it's written out in this scene, at least. Character-wise, with them in the comics, it makes sense why they would do something like this. Yeah, now we're starting to see him disintegrate. His suit, his skin's starting to go. Now the whole house is fucking floating. No one's fighting because everyone's on the fucking ceiling stuck. But well, we know Wolverine, that won't stop him. Fucking Professor X's power and Logan couldn't even stop him when he would start to hurt everyone within like a 30-mile radius. Yep, Professor X is almost out of here. Magneto's shocked like a motherfucker at this point. You can see the surprise on his face. And then fucking Wolverine's about to witness it. I think it's worth noting that Wolverine witnesses Professor X dying because of the relationship that Wolverine and Professor X gain in X-Men 1 and lose in Logan when we get to that movie later on in the podcast. Yep, now we got the really cool slow-mo scene like I was talking about. You got the flying glass everywhere, the debris all over the place. Professor X, don't let it control you. His last message to Jean. And then he looks off to Wolverine and smiles. Been such a dick to him this whole fucking trilogy. And fucking yet Wolverine still cares about your ass. That says a lot about Wolverine's character and the way they wrote him in this. And I guess you could consider Professor X right before he dies and the rest of the movie up until this scene and the other movies as to where he's just being really overprotective, and that's why he's being a fucking giant dick sometimes. Why did they put the black in his helmet? I never noticed he had the black outlining around Magneto's helmet, around his face, if you guys see that. Magneto pretty much won this, but like by default, and he knows it, and he's not happy with the way that outcome just happened. Now Wolverine and Storm are trying to get there, and now they see he's gone. I love the acting by these two, because they just lost pretty much like a father figure to both of them. And now they don't know what to do. They're both just sad. I love how Storm just falls on Wolverine and grabs him. I feel like, while this hurts Storm, I feel like it hurts Wolverine more, because Wolverine relied on Professor X for so much of his knowledge and help for trying to get his memory back. And then we just got to see his chair by itself in his classroom, his office. That in itself holds together a really powerful image. We live in an age of darkness, a world full of fear, hate, and intolerance. But in every age, there are those who fight against it. Charles Xavier was born into a world divided. A world he tried to heal, a mission he never saw accomplished. He seems the destiny of a great man to see their goals unfulfilled. Charles was more than a leader, more than a teacher. He was a friend. When we were afraid, he gave us strength. And when we were alone, he gave us a family. Oh, there was a. If you guys just saw it, the little redhead girl that was just in like slobbery, snotty tears. I'm sorry, that's about to make me cry. Holy shit. Oh. And it was right after hearing them say he was a friend, too. The guys who ever lost a friend, that shit fucking hurts. Oh. Lost too many friends to count at this point. And now we got our Kitty Pryde of the movie. Played by Elliot Page. Now we got Bobby talking to her, trying to comfort her. This is where they try to set up the this little romance between Bobby and Kitty, and you can kind of see it in the beginning of the movie when they're in the danger room, and she grabs him to let the missile go through them. So that was their little like hint of that in the beginning, and then you kind of see more of that built throughout the rest of this movie, and you kind of see that little bit of hey, we used to have a thing for each other in X-Men Days of Future Past. Yep, let's go ice skating. I see you got ice skates. Let's go. Come on, I'm Iceman. I bet you I can outskate you on the ice. I always thought this scene was pretty cool. It's basically just Iceman showing off his abilities and what he could basically do for like the most romantic date in the world. This is a place. This place can be a home for you too. I like how they did the effect for this. I think it's pretty fucking baller. And then I like how he gets himself his own ice skates. He just makes them ice. I wonder how long Iceman has had to practice using his powers to do that. It's kind of funny that you could totally see the metal fucking blades that he was actually standing on. When they cut to them standing on the ice. CGI can only do so much. Yeah, you can totally see the metal blades in the wide shots. They totally didn't do anything to make them look like ice. That's funny. Man, it's too bad Elliot Page turned into a dude. She was a really beautiful woman, a young lady. Loved her in Juno. Loved her in this. I loved her in the Umbrella Academy before she transitioned. I thought that was kind of her comeback role into Hollywood. And now she goes by they, them. How sad. Wolverine caught Rogue getting ready to take off to get the cure. Where you going? You don't know what it's like to be afraid of your powers, to be afraid to get close to anybody. Yeah, I do. If anyone knows that better than anyone, it's Wolverine. That's why Wolverine and Rogue have such a close relationship in X-Men Evolution, the cartoon series we'll eventually get to on the podcast. That's one thing I did feel like they got right in these movies was the relationship between Rogue and Wolverine, even though it was a little kitty fucker-esh in X-Men, the first one. We'll just go along with saying that. Shouldn't you be telling me to stay, go upstairs, and unpack? I'm not your father, I'm your friend. But you're almost like a father to her. And that's how she most certainly sees you, is as a father. Especially in the comic books and in X-Men, the animated series, and X-Men, not the animated series, but X-Men Evolution. Because she doesn't really know who her dad is, Wolverine becomes that adopted father figure for her. And it happens in this really cool episode 2 in the Evolution. And you kind of see the evolution of it in this trilogy of movies as well. It was too bad they didn't want to do anything with Rogue when they rebooted this franchise, when Fox still was its own studio and had the rights. Because they could have done something really good with Rogue. But now we're at the Brotherhood of Evil's camp. Magneto's talking with Jean Grey, basically just trying to get in her head, I suppose, is what you can consider this. And then she kind of, as you get a little bit more into the conversation, she kind of shows that, hey, you might be powerful, but like I'm no one to be trifled with. As he kind of like shows her, like, I can disassemble the weapon, but you can do so much more. You can do anything you can think of. How does he know how much of her how does he know the capabilities of her power though? Was that something that Charles explained to him when they were younger and they got her as a kid? Enough, enough. Yeah, you don't want to lose your powers, huh? You sound just like him, Gene. He wanted to hold you back. What do you want? I want you to be what you are, as nature intended. That cure is meant for all of us. If we want freedom, we must fight for it. I really wish they would have gave just Femke Janssen more lines of dialogue in the movie, and they would have rewrote how they portrayed her character as Phoenix in this, and made it more along the lines of Jean Grey, but in like a different personality aspect. Because this just feels like an entirely different character that she's playing, as to where the Phoenix is still Jean Grey, but it's if her personality was more like strong-willed, more stubborn, and that, you know, those types of aspects. But you could see Pyro kind of getting ahead of himself for his own good. Magneto reminded him of that. Then we got Wolverine back at the X Mansion with Storm. Some of the other X-Men, they're kind of going over what they're going to do. So what now? What do we do? Oh, but I swear to God, the continuity of what Kitty looks like in this movie is all over the place, like hair-wise. Hey, Angel, coming to join the X-Men, or at least live at the X-Mansion. I was told this was a safe place for mutants. It was, son. And it still is. We'll find you a room. I like how Storm steps up here. Hank, tell all the students the school stays open. See, I wonder if we would have kept Scott alive, if we would have made the beginning of the movie Wolverine, Storm, Professor X, Cyclops, going after Jean Grey because they could sense her abilities, and that's when they find her at her home house, at her childhood home. And then we get the battle between the Brotherhood of Evil there, like we did in this movie. And then Professor X dies, and then the rest of the movie is basically trying to get Jean back while making sure they figure out how to keep the school open in Charles's legacy. I feel like that would have been a much better movie. But that's not the movie we're watching today, folks. Logan, Wolverine hearing Jean in his head. I forgot the scene wasn't even in the movie. Logan, 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 Logan. I don't ever remember seeing Wolverine just wearing a straight up hoodie, his leather jacket, and then with a tank top underneath, his wife beater. Alright, now we got Wolverine packing up, getting ready to go, and Storm just caught him. She's going, Logan. She's not coming back. You don't know that. She killed the professor. It wasn't Jean. The Jean I know is still in there. Listen, out of my way. Why can't you see the truth, huh? Why can't you just let it go? Because you love her. I don't really see why, like, they haven't really set it up very well throughout these movies why Wolverine loves Jean. And they never really made it clear if she reciprocated the same feelings back towards him. Even if they did kiss in X2 and you saw them get all hot and steamy on the surgery table in this movie. Like, they never like give you a reason like why Wolverine falls in love with her. It's just that it happens because it's part of the story from the comic books, and these characters is what it feels like. Now we're back to where the cure is being given out and people are protesting. Bobby's trying to look for Rogue there, and he winds up running into Pyro. I'm looking for someone. Oh, I get it. Your girlfriend. I always like this scene because it kind of shows you where their relationship has gone as friends. Because Pyro really only left because of his own insecurities. He didn't really have a problem with any one of the X-Men. It was really because of what he wanted and what they weren't giving him, which they weren't giving the rest of the students either. And I like how you get this little tease of their confrontation when Bobby turns his whole fucking fist into ice, which is what he's going to do to his whole body later in the movie. Can you guys imagine the type of damage that people could cause if they had mutant abilities in real life? They go to protests and stuff like this. How many more people would actually be dying? Breaking news. Magneto threat issued. Your cities, your streets will not be safe. You will not be safe. And to my fellow mutants, I make this offer. Join us or stay out of the way. I always thought Magneto's speech in this could have been tweaked a little bit better. And I feel like we could have had like a full-on, like maybe 3-minute long speech, as to opposed to the 30-second one they gave him. I don't even think it was 30 seconds. I think it was less than 20 is what it sounded like. And now we're back with the president, and he's talking to whoever this guy is. Let me go back to the cast list, because I'm doing a terrible job of remembering. Boulevard Trask. I couldn't even call this guy Boulevard Trask because he doesn't look like him from the comics. Which, yes, I know Boulevard Trask in the comic books is white. And also Boulevard Trask in X-Men Days of Future Past is played by a different actor completely. He's white in that, but he's also really short. He's played by Peter Dinklage in that. And Peter Dinklage does a much better job portraying Boulevard Trask than this actor does in this. Oh, so Rogue wasn't even there when Bobby went. How the fuck did Bobby beat Rogue there and not the other way around? That makes no fucking sense. I feel like that's got to be an editing mistake. I feel like the scene was misplaced. And if it wasn't, then the fucking writing for this was terrible. Alright, now we're back at the forest where Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil camp is, and Wolverine's pretty much found him. He's just sniffing around. I always love the shot to Wolverine's claws coming out of his hands. And the spike. Now, guys, this Spike character that we meet that Wolverine is fighting, this prick right here, with the beanie on and the vest with no sleeves, he is not the Spike from X-Men Evolution. That character was originally created for that television show. And this guy, I don't believe... Let me see when X-Men Evolution came out. Give me a sec, guys, while we look that up. Yada, yada, yada. It's not going to work if I type it in like that. X-Men Evolution. Come on, Google. And, oh no, X-Men Evolution came out in 2000, so this could totally be based off that version of Spike, but I was totally under the impression from a previous video I saw breaking down the movie or talking about it that it wasn't. But I guess it could be. It just definitely is not the Spike from the cartoon show, because that... in the cartoon show, he is an X-Men, and he is Storm's nephew. Yeah, we got Wolverine taking out this camp, going to town. Or at least of who's left at the camp. I think the camp might have moved out by this point, and if he... No, I don't think they moved out by this point. He's just taking out some of the guards that are surrounding it. And he's still fighting Spike. Now Wolverine jumps into him. Yep. Now, Wolverine gets him, but he gets Wolverine too. Wolverine is always willing to fucking get hurt just so he can get the fucking mission done. As evidence from X1, X-Men. When he stabs through his chest and heart so that he can get free from the metal bars Magneto placed on him in that one. Yeah, no. Now he's about to go incognito into this fucking herd of people. I wonder if this area in the forest that they're at is a real location they filmed at, or if part of it is a set and the rest of it is just extenuated with CGI. Because we're getting into the territory now with these movies where a fuck ton of CGI was used to enhance shit for them. So, yeah, it's relying on Jean Grey as the Phoenix to help them get through their mission. Now, this part always made me laugh because eventually Magneto senses Wolverine in the crowd with his adamantium skeleton. Now, what made Wolverine not think he wouldn't sense him is beyond me. But I guess they kind of throw this in there to tease you with it for what happens at the end of the movie when Wolverine tricks him. Yeah, Jean Grey sees Wolverine is what it looks like. How she notices him in that group of people is beyond me, though. Like, I know she has powerful fucking mutant abilities, but she got fucking vision that's better than 2020? Yeah, Wolverine trying to get Jean back. He's going to not get her. And now Magneto's got him. He's got him by balls! More, correctly, he's got him against a tree. I didn't come to fight you, smart boy. I came for Jean. You think I'm keeping her against her will? Yeah, this scene was dope. Now he just lifts him up. I did see behind the scenes of this before for the movie, and they got Hugh Jackman strung up on a wire rig so they can have him lift up the way he is and then fling him all the way fucking back like you're about to see. Now, I do think they originally use a stunt man for once he starts hitting shit. But, like, that initial throw was Hugh Jackman. Yeah, no, this would hurt like hell. Falling down a fuck ton of trees. Oh, yeah, that little fucking... I wish they would have lingered on him being fucked up after getting fucked up by those trees a little bit longer, but they didn't. It's literally for, like, half a second, and then it cuts to the war room with the president and the rest of these generals and Bolivar Trask. She gave us everything we wanted and more. Yeah, so they basically had Mystique, Raven now, since she lost her abilities, give them all the information she had on Magneto. Probably so she doesn't go to jail. Try to assume. And it's not like I think that they would put her in jail anyways after she lost her abilities because she is no longer a threat technically to the nation. At least that's the way I would look at it. So. Because who knows, maybe she can still fight the way she did, but can she still, like, move as fast as she could and jump the way she could without her mutant abilities? I don't know about that. Set for 360 degrees. Yeah, so they're about to be in a big shock here in a second because the Brotherhood of Evil have all already left, and this is just the same guy. The cloning guy we talked about earlier in the movie who robbed 10 banks at the same time. Yep, now they're about to find out. Yep, it's the clone guy. Now he's about to shrink in his growth. And now they're looking like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, they're all like, what? Okay, I give up. I fucking love how smart, like, how much of a smartass the guy is when he says that. Alright, guys, we're back to San Francisco. Yeah, I think I called San Francisco, New Jersey earlier on in the video. But yeah, Rikers Island is in San Francisco. You can totally tell they're in front of a green screen right now. Yeah, this doesn't look like they shot that on location at all. That was so in front of a green screen. And Wolverine's back, looking better than he did when we last saw him. Now here comes Storm. Storm. You said you saw Magneto? They're going to attack Alcatraz. Alcatraz. Shit, did I call Alcatraz Rikers Island? Or is Alcatraz on Rikers Island? Let's look that up. Alcatraz. Oh, I can't believe I fucked that up too, huh, guys? Alcatraz. Where is it? Alcatraz Island. Is Rikers Island its own prison? It might be. And now we're at the scene where Wolverine's pretty much given his iconic speech to the X-Men, if they're going to stand alongside them and fight, or if they're going to stay behind. And then you get Beast in his old X-Men suit, which made me laugh when he made the joke about it being tight. I thought it was funny. And then Storm's kind of reminded Wolverine, it was a nice speech you gave, but now you have to decide, are you going to be fighting as a part of a team or on your own? As a team or on your own? And then we all know what the decision Wolverine winds up making is. Sorry guys, I haven't been telling you any of the time codes for the movie, but I guess watching it on the computer doesn't really give me an accurate time code of where we are. It just lets me know how long I have left. We got about 32 minutes left in the movie, guys. 32 minutes and 14 seconds. Alright, yep, they're on the Blackbird flying to Alcatraz right now. I'm gonna find out if Rikers is a different prison. Yeah, no, Riker, yeah, nope, I'm a dummy. So, Alcatraz is a prison in fucking San Francisco. Rikers is a prison in fucking New York and near the East River. Yeah, I feel dumb for that. Now we're getting to one of the most iconic scenes from this movie, and I don't think anyone will argue with me on this one, or most fans of the X-Men franchise, is when Magneto straight pulls the fucking San Francisco bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, off the fucking tracks it's on, connecting the lands that it is, and takes it all the way over to fucking Alcatraz Island. I think we could have done without the families in this scene. I feel like they did that just so we could maybe relate to them in the scene, but how the fuck can you relate to something like this unless there's a giant earthquake that's about to take the bridge down? Like, if anything, we just needed to see people evacuate their cars and run away. I don't think we had to set sights on one sole family. Although it does make for the good joke, though, when they later on see Magneto and they lock their car doors. That shit makes me laugh. Everyone's doing their cool, wincing faces, walking up. They're all law and ordering it, obnoxiously taking up more room on the bridge than they need to. Ugh. Alright, now Magneto's about to do it. I'm not gonna lie, Magneto looks like he's getting ready to shit himself doing this. And I shot. And now you got the tourist guy going, what the fuck is going on? I was just trying to take a family photo. I didn't do this, did I? Oh, look. Does that guy? Yeah, so they just showed one guy jumping as the bridge got torn away, and it looked like he caught himself, but does he make it? That's what I would like to know. Now Magneto's moving the whole fucking bridge over to Alcatraz. Okay. The sun's going down. This is a beautiful scene. As the sun's going down, you see the fucking bridge right in front of it as Magneto's floating it to the island. Leech is seeing it on as it's on its way to the island. I can only imagine what people who live in San Francisco are thinking right now from the city that are seeing that. If anyone that didn't notice it, shame on you. Like, that would be something, like, completely world-changing to witness. Charles always wanted to build bridges. That's such a good fucking line. I swear to Christ, everything he fucking says is always in retort to either Charles or fucking just regular people. Alright, yeah, now you can see fucking on infrareds that he moved the bridge. My god. I love the music, too, that takes place throughout this whole sequence as well. It really emphasizes just how powerful Magneto is and the feat that he just accomplished and what he did. So, yeah, here we go, the door locking scene. Uh, yeah, don't worry, we're not gonna fuck with you guys. We're just gonna stay in the car. Please don't hurt us. We did nothing to you. We do not want any problems. Although it would have been cool, though, if they would have showed the sun actually set as they have the bridge moving across, or as it fucking lowers down, because it just kind of goes from orange skies to dark skies within literally seconds. Now they're about to attack, yep. And then Magneto does something like that's kind of clever here, where he basically sends all the first few mutants out that aren't really like real like warriors that he knows are going to get taken out by the cure out there, and then he sends out the rest. The chest the pawns go first. I love how he puts it. Humans and their guns. And he doesn't know that they're plastic. So this is the first point where the guns become plastic. That's why I was surprised earlier on when he pulls the one dude's gun in the prison truck that's transporting Mystique, Juggernaut, and the Duplicity guy. But I'm surprised it took him that long to make fucking plastic guns for someone who can control metal that's part of the nation's #1 enemy. Like, you guys have known about Magneto for how long, and you guys just now got him? So are those giant fucking turds made out of fucking plastic too, or are they made out of metal? Oh yeah, totally protected yourself there. Arclight, use your shockwave. Arclight totally looks like a trainee. That's one powerful ass fucking mutant ability. Totally shattered the fucking weapons. I'm surprised we didn't see any of the fucking cures go into the soldiers, like, backfire. That would have made sense if that happened. Go in stealth mode. I like how fucking shocked Beast was when he saw the bridge. Like, it's like this holy, unholy moment for him. Then God help us all. Yeah, you're right, President. You're gonna need God's help to fucking win this battle. Or who else? Who else's help you're gonna need? Mutants, the X-Men, bitch. They're coming for him. Hey, you're damn right they're coming for him. You guys pissed off the mutants, calling what they have to be cured, which is ridiculous. I think the only person that should need a quote-unquote cure is someone that's dying of something. Now, I guess you could point out in the comics some mutants that die from their abilities, but that's probably very far few and in between, I guarantee it. Yeah, I love the introduction to the X-Men coming onto the island. Fucking Kitty just goes right through the floor with Bobby, and then you see him come right back up. Oh, that was weird. Don't ever do that again. Yep, I agree with you. Wolverine just fucking up the side of the buildings to get in. Storm flying in with her lightning like a fucking badass. Storm. The fucking African queen. The goddess of weather. Hold this line. Is Colossus there too? Yep, Colossus is there. I don't remember seeing him get his own entrance. That would have been dope if we just seen him literally like crash into the ground and create a crater. That would have been cool. I'm telling you guys, I could probably write this into a much better movie than what this is in terms of continuity, story, the way characters act, the amount of dialogue that gets delivered with certain characters. All right, now we're in it, guys. The fight begun. Started with Wolverine, Beast. Beast is fucking going crazy. Yep, now Magneto's sending in his heavy guns. Storm, the Betsy girl's going after Storm. Is that her name? I keep fucking that up, don't I? Probably fucking that up. No, it's Betsy. Yep. Oh, that would hurt. I imagine getting fucking hit by anyone with super speed would be fucking shitty. But Storm gets the upper hand. How do you fight someone that you can go right through you, or you can go right through them? Magneto just tells Oh, fuck, why am I forgetting his name? Juggernaut to go after the kid and kill him. Hold it. Yeah, it just fucking goes right through everyone like they ain't shit. He's going for the boy. Not if I get there first. This is one of my favorite scenes. Kind of the guy can grow his limbs back, and Wolverine just keeps chopping him off and getting hit by him. Come on! Kicks him in the nuts. He drops, grow those back. I guarantee you, he probably fucking smashed his balls with his metal leg or his metal foot, whatever fucking did his nuts. Fucking Kitty Pryde puts fucking Juggernaut on the ground. Do you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! One of the most iconic lines in this whole fucking... I'd say that's the iconic line in this whole fucking movie. Everyone remembers, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! I remember how huge of a laugh that line got in theaters, too, when this movie first came out. Jesus Christ, fucking Juggernaut just going to town. So I like how she eventually, like, gets him to knock out for a second when he does get into the, Leech's room, because it suppresses mutants' abilities besides his own. Or his ability suppresses mutants' powers besides his own. I don't know why I thought it was the room for a second. Now, this part sucks for the scientist lady that we've seen throughout the movie, because she's about to die. Yep, right now. As the porcupines are... Calm down, calm down. Shh. Then... Yep. Swear to God, it's like a cross between a porcupine and a blowfish. I don't know why they gave him the Omega symbol in the back of his hair. Like that, it's like a haircut design they gave his character. That to me seems a little weird. But I think most of these characters from the goth mutants that we've seen in this had Omega symbols on them. Still don't know why. Maybe that was them trying to tease Apocalypse. That's the only other thing I can think of. Yeah, now we're trying to get to the roof with Warren's dad so they can toss his ass off. I don't know why they don't just kill him right then and there. Maybe it's just to send a message. But Kitty got to Leech first. Now we're about to see Juggernaut come in the room. Oh my God, what's going on? Your powers won't work with me. Ugh. Stay close, alright? We got this! I'm the wrong guy to play hide and seek with. Who's hiding, you dickhead? Yep. That's funny. I don't think he's ever hit something that hard with his own strength, which is probably what knocked him out, if I had to guess. Yeah, see, if you guys didn't bring him all the way up to the roof, you probably could have killed him. Please don't do this. I only wanted to help you people. Do we look like we need help? Yeah, actually, you do look like you need help. And then fucking, bam! Warren comes in to save his dad. Angel to the rescue! Now that was a little bit of a plot convenience, if you ask me. Unless they had some, like, news crews there recording it so he could see what was going on. How did he know to get there to get his dad? Oh yeah, that would definitely hurt. One little detail I like from Storm electrocuting her on the fence is you see her fucking piercing and fucking light up hot red. That would totally happen. Alright, now Magneto's had enough. He's gonna start tossing fucking metal with Pyro just lighting him up. Metal, mostly cars. He's just gonna start tossing the cars and Pyro's gonna light him up so they explode. Ooh! Where's the third one? There's 3. 4. One after the other. Now, if you guys are noticing, the way they're starting to film this scene, it's starting to actually it's starting to actually play off of the beginning Danger Room scene in terms of how they're all hiding for defense right now. But I also think Storm kind of comes around with Wolverine. Best defense is a good offense. Which is also another continuity issue because it's like, well, weren't you guys trying to teach Wolverine something? But now it just seems like that is relegated to, hey, he's about to teach Storm something. Oh, now the plan's starting to come together. Sorry for the long pause, guys. But yeah, Wolverine sees the cure on the ground, looks at Beast, puts together a plan, and then he's about to ask Bobby if he can take out his old buddy, Pyro. We work as a team. Best defense. Yeah, see, like they use both of each other's advice, which I guess that kind of works from how I thought it was. Bobby, you think you can take out your old friend? Yeah. Well, bam! I like how Bobby's ice power stopped it from fucking moving. I wonder if that scientifically would actually work. Go ahead. He's like, go get him, Pyro. You earned this. Even though Pyro's about to get the shit kicked out of him. Well, not shit kicked out of him, but he's about to lose, that's for sure. And now Storm's going to create a distraction, so that way Wolverine has a chance to get tossed by Colossus with the fastball special, baby! At Magneto. Alright, here we go, though. Pyro versus Iceman. I like how Iceman takes his gloves off because he knows it's about to get serious. I feel like they could have done a better stance, though, for Iceman than the one they have him in. It's pretty cool, though, to see Bobby use his powers like that. We don't get to see him use his powers again like this until X-Men Days of Future Past. Here we go. He's struggling. He's struggling. You're in over your head, Bobby. I love this next line. Maybe you should go back to school. And then Bobby gets pissed off and turns into full Iceman. And he grabs him by the wrist and freezes his fucking little pieces of equipment. Headbutts him. Yeah! You never should have left. Yeah! Now, we only get to see him turn into full-on Iceman like one other time in the X-Men Days of Future Past movie. And even that is for a brief second right before he gets his fucking head snapped off. Groaning. Yep, Magneto caught Wolverine just like he always does. You never learn, do you? Actually, I do. I love this plan. And then Beast comes out of nowhere and fucking hits Magneto with the cure. 4 of them, bitch, right in the fucking chest. Square in the fucking pecs, baby. Now I'm one of them. I fucking love Wolverine's line to him. One of them? Yeah, bitch, you are. Yeah, now Magneto's struggling. Now his last-ditch effort is for Jean to take everyone out. This is what they all want for all of us. Yeah, he acts like he's dying. It's kind of funny when you think about it. But I understand his magnetism abilities have defined him his whole life. So it probably heartbreaking for him. Weird as an audience member to see him taking it like that, though, I will admit. Now Wolverine's trying to get Jean to come with her, let her know it's over, but we all know what's about to happen. These greedy-ass motherfucking shoulders come out of nowhere, and they set the motherfucking bomb off. You know, had these guys not come in and started shooting all over the place, they might have had a chance to get Jean back, which probably would have been the ending I would have went for instead of the one we're about to get. No! Wolverine yelling. Yep, now those guys are disintegrated. They got Thanos. This was before Thanos was Thanos, too, before the snap happened. That's pretty much what Jean's doing, is she's Thanosing everybody around her, or trying to at least. Everybody get out of there. Yeah, this island's about to go up. You guys all gotta get the fuck out of here. Yep, there's Bobby trying to help Kitty and Leech. And Leech does make it at the end of this movie, guys, just so you're wondering. You see him at the end at the school with everyone as people are coming back. Magneto, what have I done? Don't you fucking sit there and go back on your words now after you've seen what you've created. I'm the only one who can stop her. Get everyone to safety. Go. Yeah. Again, I wish this wouldn't have been the ending we got. I wish Jean could have lived, and we would have seen them taking her back to try and save her, with fucking Cyclops still alive to help them. Because I feel like you need both Scott and Wolverine to be able to calm Jean down and to bring her back fully from the Phoenix. And one thing from the comics and the animated series, and they even did it in the X-Men Dark Phoenix movie that they did later on, was how Jean gets the Dark Phoenix powers. She gets them from being exposed to radiation in space when they're on a mission trying to help an astronaut shuttle, which is not what they did in this. And when she gets them that way, the powers don't actually last forever like they try to make them appear to in this. They only last for a finite amount of time. So, alright, yep, now we're getting Wolverine trying to get Jean to calm down, getting blown to bits. Part of his costume's getting blown off. CGI kind of doesn't hold up that well now that I'm looking at it. But it looked really good back in the day. One little detail I like that they give Wolverine, though, in this, as he's, like, inching his way closer to her to try and get to her, is as his body's being disintegrated but re-healing, you can see in the holes on his body his adamantium skeleton. I'm just like, that's a cool little detail to throw in there. Wolverine is struggling like a motherfucker. Oh yeah, there you go. That was a big fucking splash she took off of him. I'm surprised he didn't lose his pants. But they probably didn't want to show Wolverine's dick, so I get that. Hugh Jackman's acting as Wolverine is always fucking superfluous. I will never complain about that. You'd kill me for them? No, not for them. For you. You know, you would die for them. He says, I wouldn't die for them. I would die for you. It's actually a really fucking dope line. I really like the way they wrote that. Save me. I love you. And then he fucking stabs her. Ugh! So, that's the end of the Dark Phoenix, guys. For her character in this, at least. And then Wolverine holds her in his arms as she dies. And he sobs as everything falls around them. Debris, the water that lifted up from her. It's a lot more water than I thought it was, actually. But, again, it's not the ending I would have wanted for the character or characters, but it's the one we got for this movie. I swear Wolverine yells no more than anything in this last movie. Oh, but I really do like the line, like I previously said before, where she asks him, or not asks him, but tells him, you would die for them? And he says, no, I wouldn't die for them, I would die for you. That's really something you tell someone you love that is either struggling with something or something you're struggling with them. Like, you would do this for them? No, I wouldn't do this for them. I'm doing it for you. And then we get the gravestone of Jean Grey, Scott Summers, sitting next to Professor Charles Xavier. Although I am wondering why they didn't get as big of a headstone as he did. Maybe it's because he's not the X in X-Men. Who knows? But, yep, now we're back at the mansion. Storm and Kitty were looking at the graves. Bobby is talking to Rogue now. Rogue just got back to the X mansion after taking the cure. I'm sorry. I had to. This isn't what I wanted. I know. It's what I wanted. Now, the only thing I don't get with this is alright, hey, you no longer have powers anymore. That's cool. But at the same time, you can no longer be an X-Men, and you cannot stay at the school. You have to go to a normal school now. Go back to your parents, whoever they were in this universe, because we never technically met them in the first movie. And I introduced a new ambassador to the United States and the representative for all mutants, humans and mutants alike. Dr. Hank McCoy. White House press conference. Way to go, Furball. I like that that's Beast's nickname from Wolverine, or Wolverine's nickname for Beast is how you properly say that. My apologies. You guys can totally tell it's a different leather jacket Wolverine's wearing than what he does in the first movie. Alright guys, I think that's it. I think we're about to get to the credits as the camera pulls out to the widest shot ever on the X-Mansion with Wolverine. What a drone shot. I think that was before drones too. Yep, we're looking at the blue sky. Mr. Blue Sky, just tell me why. And now we're seeing Angel fly across the Golden Gate Bridge as it's being rebuilt. Oh my god, I can only imagine how much that would cost. Flies past a kid, says hi to him. Or waves hi to him. And now we're at a park right now, and one day he just flew by, and this is actually where Magneto is sitting at as a normal old man. And he's sitting at a table, sitting across from an empty seat with a chessboard in front of him. Or, not a chessboard, but the table, I guess, itself is the chessboard. With chess pieces lying out in front of him, just like he used to play with Charles Xavier. Which is something they hinted at in some of the other movies they did in when they rebooted the franchise. That's what they were hinting at with those, was this stuff. I'm sure they played chess in the comic books, but I don't know if they made it as prominent as they did in the movies. Then Magneto, attempting to use his powers again. You see it move just slightly before it cuts to credits. Directed by Brett Reiner. Written by Simon Kinberg and Zach Penn. Produced by Lauren Schuler Donner, Ralph Winter, and Avi Arad. Executive producers Stan Lee, Kevin Feige, and John Paularino. Director of photography, Danita Spinola, and I didn't know how to say the rest. But that's it, guys. That is our trilogy of original X-Men movies. I hope you guys enjoyed the watch along so far with them. I really enjoyed doing this with you guys. We are going to continue going forward with this with the rest of the movies. But until we get to Deadpool and Wolverine, I think we're going to skip right on over to Deadpool and Deadpool 2. That way, we can have a smoother transition from the original trilogy to the Deadpool movies into Deadpool and Wolverine, because I'm not so sure how much of, let's say, X-Men Days of Future Past through X-Men The Dark Phoenix are going to have a play in Deadpool and Wolverine. I know for sure we're going to see a lot of the original X-Men cast from the original trilogy. And I might do X-Men Origins Wolverine just because the latest trailer they released for that had clips of that in it. So you guys might get that, we might not. Who knows for sure. I'll make my mind up by the time you guys hear from this. So, but X-Men 3 The Last Stand. That was a so-so movie. If I'm being honest now after rewatching it, it doesn't hold up for me as much as I thought it originally did, like X-Men 1 does and X-Men 2. You guys heard my complaints about it, the way I would rewrite it, but at the end of the day, there's still a lot of iconic scenes from this movie. The opening with the Danger Room scene, where we finally get to see them in the Danger Room all together, which we haven't seen that at all before. And then when we get to see our introduction to Beast, that was iconic with him hanging upside down in his office. The scene where Professor X dies is pretty iconic in this movie because you kind of feel that ripple throughout the rest of the movies until we see him again at the end of the Wolverine in the end credit scene with Wolverine and Magneto. And another iconic scene in this is when we meet Juggernaut for the first time, and he talks about his helmet, how his helmet makes him look pretty. And then another iconic scene after that is probably, I'd have to get it up to Juggernaut again. At the end of the fight, in the third act, where he's trying to get to the kid, and Kitty Pryde puts him into the ground, and he says, "Do you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!" Another iconic scene. Probably the most iconic line throughout the whole fucking movie, if not franchise, for the first three movies. So, the movie definitely had humor in it, not as much as some of the later X-Men movies will come to have, especially X-Men Origins Wolverine, which is kind of the start of that. These movies had some humor, but they were real subtle humor. It wasn't in-your-face humor like the next movies will come to have, and Deadpool as well. So, like I said, you guys heard my complaints, how I would rewrite to make it a better film throughout this show so far. So, I believe that's about it, guys. If you have anything else to add about the movie, if there was anything I missed, if there was any behind-the-scenes features that you wanted to hear me talk about that I didn't, let me know in the comments below. And let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this reaction, what you guys think of X-Men 3, what your favorite scene is, what your favorite character in this movie is, what your favorite line of dialogue in this movie is. I know mine for sure is, do you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. I know that's for sure my favorite line of dialogue. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is X-Men the Uncanny Podcast, episode number 3. You guys have a wonderful day. Love ya, and bye-bye.
I'm out of this world, on top will be an understatement. Overall, we topple mountains, blowing down your Appalachians. Capsule in my Easter basket, keep us inside of your prayers. Partaking the devil's neck, delivers in need of repairs. More stubborn than most, couple of folks following the oaths, poking holes in your boats, leave you in comatose. That's all she wrote, no, that's an overdose. And it's best you know your limits, then test them and go. Broke this ain't a scrimmage, but this line I can still finish.